Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Sanbhaktaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanaභaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear worshipable devotees, for joining for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So yesterday we were reading Canto 8, Chapter 20. Bali Maharaj surrenders to the universe. So very, very important verse, text number 1, which we studied in great detail yesterday, that Bali rejected the so-called seminal guru because the guru was telling him not to surrender to Krishna, not to give charity to Krishna, because Krishna will, or Vamandev or Lord Govinda, will take everything away. Now, whom does everything belong to? So in short, Bali Maharaj very carefully, he didn't just blindly, did that. He understood the message. He heard Bali. He heard Shukracharya. He paused. He deliberated and then said no, with full deliberation. Actually, what he will speak, we will see today. But the point was very nice. And I think Vipul Prabhu asked a question about the Ritvik and some other things. And I think Ravi Prabhu mentioned a good point. Like in Sri Sampradaya, they cannot say like, "Oh, I'm the disciple of Ramanujacharya." Like in ISKCON, if you say, someone say, "Oh, I'm the disciple of Rupa Goswami," I forget all the great other parampara, like Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur. I kind of bypass everything and say, "I'm the follower. I'm the disciple of Rupa Goswami." So it's okay to say I'm the Shiksha disciple of Rupa Goswami, or we are Rupa Nugas, we are the follower, but one cannot bypass and just say that rest all is, right? Ravi Prabhu, what is that correct? Me and my wife were discussing this point yesterday.
Yes.
So, because that's what will happen in that, group pretty much after like 100 years, 150 years, if it still kind of happens, it's pretty much like you say, I'm a disciple of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, right? Pretty much like that. So one has to carefully understand the science. And then one comment from His Holiness Danavir Maharaj, it basically opens the Pandora box. He writes in his book about this, like, okay, I'll do this, I'll not do this and things. It opens this kind of a big thing which may take any shape. So better we follow the system. So let's read the next verse, text number 2. Yes, Prabir Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavata Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 2. Shri Bali Uvacha Shritam Bhagavata Praktam Dharma Ayam Griha Medinam Artham Kamam Jashabrittim Jona Badeheta Korhichit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Bali Maharaj said, as you have already stated, the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame, and means of livelihood is the real occupational duty of the householder. I also think that this religious principle is correct. Purport. Bali Maharaj's grave answer to Shukracharya is meaningful. Shukracharya stressed that one's material means of livelihood and one's material reputation, sense gratification, and economic development must continue properly. To see to this is the first duty of a man who is householder, especially one who is interested in material affairs. If a religious principle does not affect one's material condition, it is to be accepted. At the present time, in this age of Kali, this idea is extremely prominent. No one is prepared to accept any religious principle if it hampers material prosperity. Shukracharya, being a person of this material world, did not know the principles of a devotee. A devotee is determined to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead to its full satisfaction. Anything that hampers such determination should certainly be rejected. This is the principle of bhakti. Anukullasya sankalpa pratikullasya varjanam. To perform devotional service, one must accept only that which is favorable and reject that which is unfavorable. Bali Maharaj had the opportunity to contribute everything he possessed to the lotus feet of Lord Vamandev. But Shukracharya was putting forward a material argument to hamper this process of devotional service. Under the circumstances, Bali Maharaj decided that such hindrances should certainly be avoided. In other words, he decided immediately to reject the advice of Shukracharya and go on with his duty. Thus, he gave all his possessions to Lord Vamandev. Hare Krishna. So here's actually I found it so much guideline for person like me who is in household life. I mean, we just read in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita how the Paramatma and the Jivatma works actually. If you look at that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita last verse, Prabhupada is saying that when we do the fruitive work, and according to that past deed, we do the our work, and Paramatma is making it sure that it's happening, but he doesn't have any engagement. So what does it mean? Like I was thinking like that. Like I'm a doctor right now. As a profession, it's kind of like little sattvic is there, rajasic is also there, less tamasic. So I was thinking that what happened to a person who is a butcher in the Publix? So that is happening because of our past deeds. So if I take advantage of my patients right now, like I charge more, so that's going to be against my next life. According to that deed, I may not have the profession of a physician. I may go down like some other profession. But if I do my profession right now and I engage myself that I'm doing that to please Krishna, and how it is happening, the please Krishna, like I make a balance so that first of all that I chant my round, do few basic things, keep my family, children and everybody, giving them the favorable situation so that as a family we can worship Krishna, and use my resources like my income partially minimum to propagating or preaching the Krishna consciousness movement. So those are all pleasing Krishna. Then it is not any more fruitive works. It is going towards devotional service. And at that point, Krishna is helping me. If you look at the purport in Srila Prabhupada, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that purport, he said that the super soul, through the material nature, he is helping others to do the work. So what does it mean? And that I remembered that sloka, which that sloka in the third chapter, that ahankaro bimuratma kartaham iti manusya, that the spirit soul thinks that they are doing, actually it is because of the first line I don't remember, it's not coming in my mind. That last line is ahankaro bimuratma kartaham iti manusya. So again, we are not, what does it mean? It means that we have little control. We have the control is that which way I'm going to show my face. Am I going to put my face towards that Paramatma bird, or I'm going to put my face out of that Paramatma bird? So only that is our control. And after that, everything, either if I put my face towards the Paramatma bird, then Krishna is the controller. He is going to, if I don't put my face towards the Paramatma bird, then material nature is the controller. And according to material nature, we are going to do. So here, in these words, Srila Bali Maharaj is saying, he is thinking, he is actually contemplating that anything I do, if it is not associated with devotional service, it is not pleasing to Krishna, it is not successful. And that's what he is saying, that the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame, means livelihood. It's not helpful. It's not our. In that case, we are griho medi. It's mentioning that griho, that otherwise, if we everything we do, our economic development, our fame, name, if we do for the pleasing of the Krishna, we become grihastha, and our life becomes successful. So that's my understanding. I just want to share. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, back to you. Please add on that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Very nice comments you shared with your own example. So there is a choice between dharma and bhakti. The so-called dharma of obeying Guru, or a so-called Guru, and the choice of following kind of the real dharma, Bhāgavat Dharma. The so-called dharma, oh, he's my seminal Guru, oh, he taught me this, oh, he was the one, he revived me. But Bali Maharaj, after carefully understanding the whole situation, he rejected the so-called dharma. He rejected by dharma by not obeying the Guru. But he followed a much higher dharma. Because what is dharma? What Krishna says. By not disobeying the Supreme Lord. So there's a choice. Do we want to obey the Supreme Lord or a pure Guru, or we want to obey a so-called Guru whom we may be attached to from our past? It's a very important lesson. Sometimes we see devotees come to Krishna consciousness, but they say, oh, my so-called Guru, my ancestral Guru said this to do, my mother's Guru said this to do, my brother's Guru said this to do, and this and that, whatnot. We have been following this in our culture. It may not be aligned with Krishna conscious principles. If it is aligned, then we are not saying to not follow that. But if it is not aligned, if it is just a so-called ritual which is not aligned, which is not conducive, which is not anukul, let's say sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. That's bhakti. To reject the pratikul and to accept the anukul or favorable. So it's a very important lesson that how Bali rejected the unfavorable, and in spite of the past attachments, in spite of the past so many things, but he took the topmost thing, accepting the Supreme Lord. Okay, let's read the next verse. Text 3 is Sampada Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, text 3. Sachaham vitta lobhena pratyachakse katham dijam pratishrutya dadatmiti praradhi kitavo yatha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I am the grandson of Maharaj Prahlad. How can I withdraw my promise because of greed for money when I have already said that I shall give this land? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially toward a Brahmana? Purport. Bali Maharaj had already been blessed by his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, he was a pure devotee, although born in a family of demons. There are two kinds of highly elevated devotees called Sadhana Siddha and Kripa Siddha. Sadhana Siddha refers to one who has become a devotee by regular execution of the regulative principles mentioned in the Sastras as ordered and directed by the spiritual master. If one regularly executes such devotional service, he will clearly attain perfection in due course of time. But there are other devotees who may not have undergone. Prabhuji, can you please scroll down so that I can all the required details of devotional service, but who, by the special mercy of Guru and Krishna, the spiritual master and the supreme personality of Godhead, have immediately attained the perfection of pure devotional service. Example of such devotees are the Yajna-patnis, Maharaj, Bali, and Sukadev Goswami. The Yajna-patnis were the wives of ordinary Brahmanas engaged in the fruitive activities. Although the Brahmanas were very learned and advanced in Vedic knowledge, they could not achieve the mercy of Krishna Balaram, whereas their wives achieved complete perfection in devotional service, despite their being women. Similarly, Vairochani, Bali Maharaj, received the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj. And by Prahlad Maharaj's mercy, he also received the mercy of Lord Vishnu, who appeared before him as a brahmachari beggar. Thus, Bali Maharaj became a Kripa Siddha because of the special mercy of both Guru and Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms this favor. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 19.151. Bali Maharaj, by the grace of Prahlad Maharaj, got the seed of devotional service, and when that seed developed, he achieved the ultimate fruit of that service, namely love of Godhead, Prema Pum Artho Mahan. Immediately upon the appearance of Lord Vamanadev, Bali Maharaj regularly maintained devotion for the Lord, and because he was purified, the Lord appeared before him. Because of unalloyed love for the Lord, he then immediately decided, I shall give this little dwarf Brahmana whatever he asks from me. This is a sign of love. Thus, Bali Maharaj is understood to be one who received the highest perfection of devotional service by special mercy. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please explain. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So in this verse, many lessons are there. Number one, the power of words, the power of one sankalpa. Now Bali Maharaj had already taken the sankalpa. Remember, he held the water pot. So, and there is a nice kind of story in this connection of Shukracharya enters in that water pot, in that the eye of the water pot, so that Bali, the water cannot flow through because he has to take the water for the sankalpa. Correct? but Shukracharya sits in that, and the water cannot come through. So Vamandev takes a particle of grass, pokes it, and then it goes in the eye of Shukracharya. Therefore, there is some issue with one eye. We have seen some pictures somewhere. So that's another pastime. But the point here is that once the vow is taken, it's taken. It's not that, okay, now in earlier days, there's a lot of power in the vow, a lot of power in the words. Once the word is given, like pran jai par vachan na jai, right? Same with Dashrath Maharaj. Once the word has come out, go to forest for 14 years, unshakable. Once the words, but nowadays totally opposite. Well, who cares? Oh, did I say this to you? No, I didn't say like that. I didn't say like that. Maybe you're just concocting. So this world is full of falsity. But as Vaishnavas, we should still try to follow these principles to the best of our abilities and speak the words carefully, and whatever the words we give, we should try to do it. Say what you do what you say. Very simple. Not be duplicitous, not saying big things and doing nothing. And if we, let's say, it's very practical also. In material life, let's say if we say to our manager, oh, I'll do this, and then it's expected that we do that. Otherwise, we'll not be there anymore, right? Similarly, same should be in spiritual life. If we vow to the Guru that I'll do this, whatever it's now, no one is forcing us to do beyond our means. But if we do something, if we take some vow that I will help in this way, or I'll follow these, or I will chant these many rounds, Krishna is watching us as the watcher bird. We discussed that. Krishna is seeing our intentions, so we must follow our words, even though sometimes it may be difficult. Now it's certainly difficult. It's kind of a very dicey situation for Bali Maharaj, but how he carefully deliberated. That means he must be also in confusion. What should I really do? So he thought, he analyzed the situation, thought, prayed, sincerity, etc., and then carefully made that decision, the right decision. Because, I come to the next point, he had the mercy of Sri Prahlad, the great Mahajan. So, how can I behave like a cheater? So cheater means one who speaks something and does something, or does not do what one speaks, or does not keep one's promise. That's cheating. Especially towards a Brahmana. Especially towards devotees, we should not cheat. In the material world, little bit here and there, you can say, like the example, like your business. No, I'm not cheating you. I'm not taking any extra profit from you. I bought it for $20 and I'm giving you for $20. Well, we all know that this is cheating, but material world, this much is fine. But in the spiritual circles, we should especially be careful, whether it is through words, whether it is through any other actions. Cheating propensity will degrade us, and it is one of the 4 faults, actually, cheating propensity. So that's point number 1. Then we talk about the Kripa Siddha. Here 3 examples are given. Yajna-patnis. Yajna-patnis were simple household ladies, but when they serve devotees, by the mercy of devotees, one gets Krishna. By the mercy of Prahlad, Bali got Siva Mandir. By the mercy of and Virochani also, the wife, I believe, also got the mercy. So causeless mercy is there. The Brahmana wives got the mercy. Bali Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami's example is also mentioned. In short, Bali Maharaj was a Kripa Siddha in the category. Why? Because you remember the garland given by Prahlad Maharaj? Remember? Prahlad Maharaj gave him garland. In few chapters back, we read that. So a pure devotee's association will never go in vain. A pure devotee's blessings will never go in vain. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So Prahlad Maharaj planted the seed, and that seed fructified in the form of darshan of the Lord. That's a beautiful purport here. Anyone has any other comments, thoughts, additions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. As we discuss about the rejecting the guru and all those things, but in this case, I see that Bali Maharaj has a more faith, and because of his devotion, I guess he can counterattack or maybe counter argument to his spiritual master. But probably this cannot be happen in today's world. I feel that because first of all, of the lack of knowledge, and second thing is, even you have a knowledge, you probably will say, okay, that's his business, it's not my business. Because it's not easy to challenge the guru. Although the guru-disciple course says very much detail in what circumstances you should reject the guru, but practically in this world, it looks very difficult, you know. So here, Bali Maharaj example is, he is the greatest devotee, you know, and he is coming from the ancestor of the Prahlad Maharaj, his father Virochana and all those stuff. So in this case, yes, it has seen that, but practically, it's not going to be. I don't think so. It's going to be happening practically in today's world. It's my opinion only. I may be wrong.
Yeah, let's discuss that point. So first of all, we should pray that this situation does not even happen. That's point number one. And Guru is not just Diksha Guru. We have understand that Guru is Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, etc. Now, the important point to understand is that sometimes also is if the Guru is, when do we have to? It's not that we have to challenge Guru in every situation. That's not the mood. But if the Guru is telling something false, which is against the Shastras, which is against what the sadhus say, that is the point. So that means, in short, if one has taken shelter of a pseudo Guru, then this situation will arise. Not in the situation if one has taken shelter of a right bona fide spiritual master. And therefore, the faith is required. The faith is, for example, I give this example. His Holiness Adhanath Swami Maharaj, and the Gaurang Prabhu, his disciple. So Gaurang Prabhu told, Maharaj, I want to go to Vrindavan to learn Sanskrit and whatnot, and preach more and this and that. Maharaj said that you will make more spiritual progress by cleaning toilets in this temple than going over there. So now it may seem contradictory, correct? It may seem to be contradictory to a less trained person. But a pure Guru knows the ins and outs, knows. Therefore, if one has to understand that, have I taken shelter of the right Guru? Sometimes the Guru may chastise. I say, why the Guru is chastising? The Guru is supposed to be kind. The Guru may sometimes be heavy. The Guru may sometimes ask some questions, and then the disciple feels, no, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that to me? This and that. Then challenging the right Guru will just lead to spiritual fall down, or not accepting his words in the right mood will just lead to fall down, nothing else. And we see that also. Because one thinks I am more intelligent than the Guru. This situation is a lot of lessons to learn here. But the point is, if we are so blessed to be under Prabhupada and Prabhupada's wonderful disciples' shelter, that and now, things 30 years back, 20 years back, maybe a little different, but now the movement has matured a lot. Now there is very strict systems for everything, that no one can become like a guru like anything, no one can become a sannyasi like, just like anything. There are strict systems designed now. So that's the point. You have to see. Therefore, a lot of maturity is required. It's otherwise, if one thinks that even sometimes, as I gave examples, the instruction may not be directly spiritual. Oh, why? Like Prabhupada, I give Prabhupada's example. Prabhupada, gave one disciple came from Western country, and Prabhupada told him, so the Vrindavan temple was being constructed, Krishna Balram temple. And then he thought, oh, I'll go to Vrindavan, Radha Kund, Sham Kund. Oh, I've read in the books and holy places, holy abode, holy devotees, everything holy, holy, holy. And then Prabhupada said, well, you count bricks and cement bags and everything is proper, no one is stealing and all that. Then he thought, what? Have I come here to count cement bags? Is that the goal of life, to count cement bags? To count the number of bricks? And he rejected Prabhupada, in short, thinking I know better. Oh, I know more what's right for me. So rejecting a pure guru for an instruction which doesn't apparently seem to be spiritual, but the guru knows the ins and outs. The guru knows what the disciple is, what his capability is, and things like that. So the point is, at that point, he went to Radha Kund and did something, and after that was gone, all down. So not following the right guru and thinking I know better when one may not be mature enough. Therefore, the 3-point check is required. If one is feeling that something my guru is telling is not right, then one should consult mature devotees, mature shastras, and discuss it out before coming to a conclusion, before jumping to a conclusion. This all needs a lot of maturity and a lot of spiritual practice, prayer. Krishna will also guide if we have the right intentions. Lord Govinda in the heart, as we just discussed, will guide us. So it's a combination of all these three, all these factors. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhu. As you say that the lack of knowledge and the lack of your bhakti or faith, then probably you don't have any room to question anybody. And when you have it, then you verified it. That's the way probably it has to. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else has any other comments, additions on this topic before we pause?
Prabhu, I just want to share one thing.
Please.
So I have a cousin who from Bangladesh. They were actually initiated. I'm just giving this example not to put anybody down or anything. Please don't take it in another way. So in Bangladesh, during the 70s and early 80s, Ramakrishna Mission has a huge, their presence, impressions were very huge. So they were initiated by Ramakrishna Mission. So then they came to United States and they were staying in New Jersey. So, I mean, as a Hindu, we have the, our always desire to go to the temple, pay obeisances. So during one Ratha Jatra, they attended in New Jersey Ratha Jatra. And then they met His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And they talked to Maharaj. They came to understand that, and Bali Maharaj example is so much like that, because they found out that ultimate Ramakrishna mission's goal, or their message was not to love of Godhead, which is the ultimate goal. And they found that Bhakticharu Maharaj's message, I mean, through Srila Prabhupada, the message is the main goal is love of Godhead. So they decided to take initiation from and they took initiation from His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj. So the reason I said that the Bali Maharaj, Shukracharya was in a good dynasty, but unfortunately he changed. He's the one who changed his action, desire. So that's why Bali Maharaj rejected him. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, what Prabhuji was saying that, but we see that it's happening till now also. So many from other groups or other sampradayas, we see that it's changing happened. They are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your comments. Anyone else has any other things to add or share before we pause?
No, I mean, comment or I don't know, probably what this is called, but I was listening to something. This is a long time back, probably. There was sometimes even Guru will also try to see the devotional level on his followers as well. So it may sound like example, Prabhupada example, which you said, the devotee, the follower, if he's just looking at a material way of looking things, he might fall down. But if he really follow the Guru instruction, whatever it is it a good, bad, what? Because sometimes Gurus things we will not understand, as you said, right? If Guru's instruction is exactly what we follow, then there is definitely going to be a higher purpose. In Prabhupada example, in counting cement bags and bricks, maybe he did not realize, the devotee did not realize what was the cause, and he's really not believing his Guru, what he is doing to him. So that is one point which I was like, you have to always trust and believe with the Guru's principles, whether it is something like we should not doubt what Guru is telling to us. That's what I'm kind of understanding. Just want to share.
Thank you. No, it's a very, very important point. For a doubting soul, there is happiness not in this world, not in the next. And we discussed that Guru is an expansion of Krishna, right? We discuss in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We discuss about the Guru Tattva, etc. So yes, one should have complete faith in the words of the Guru. Yes. All these are, see, bhakti is not just 0 and 1. There is a lot of gray shades in between. So on one hand, there is example of, as you said, Prabhupada's example here, and Ramaracharya, he said like, okay, one devotee came to, I want to learn this meaning of Sarvadharman Parityaj. He said, okay, wash, first go and serve, right? And say, well, I have come to learn this wonderful shloka. Why are you telling me to wash dishes? So one has to prove that one is really sincere. Sri Jagannath Babaji said, okay, I am not interested to give you initiation. Go away, get from someone. He said, see, look at this bad guru. And a material person will say, bad guru, see, I'm approaching. No. So many times we see they were like cleaning the stool of their guru just to get there. Now, that may seem to be a very mundane act from a mundane perspective, but those who has the right eyes to see will see, those who have the right faith will see it in proper perspective, that I need to become a qualified disciple first. So, very important points. So, thank you for the wonderful discussion. We'll pause here and see you for the Bhagavad Gita class in the evening at 5:30. So, Kantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki
Jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai.
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.